One other scenario I want to show you, because I mentioned the power of the lists and how everything in Business Central is lists. So I'm going to show you one other list and how Copilot is brought into that. So this is my posted sales invoices, right? So think of this as, these are all the invoices that I've sold. And the great thing with these lists is they have an analysis view, it's called, right? And this starts to look and feel like Excel built right in with Business Central. Now, I did mention that it's very easy to get data out into Excel to do that analysis, but sometimes it's really great when you can just do it within Business Central, that you don't have to take it out there, right? So the analysis views have been there for a while, but now what they've done is they've incorporated Copilot into the analysis views where you can start asking it questions. And sometimes I find myself as I have an idea of what I want, but I'm not sure how to build it, or I don't know where to start. Well, that's where Copilot is great. You can start just asking it questions and then refining it. So maybe you want to go in and ask, tell me my total sales for a couple years. So I'm going to say 23 and 2024, but I want it grouped by customer. So I've answered it a simple question. I'm going to click generate, and now it's going to start working on analyzing that data and creating a view for me, right, for those total sales by customer. So you can see within seconds now I've got it grouped by customer, and I can see the sales for those customers across those years. But maybe that's too much. Maybe I don't want it for 2023 and 24. This is where you can start refining it, right? And you can say, you know what, I don't want to see for all years, I just want a specific year. So I can see filter to just 2023, right? So then again, it's going to take that information and start filtering it down. So now you can see my amounts changed, and I'm just filtering it to 2023. And it's great that I've got it grouped by customer, but we also segment our customers, right? And I want to understand, well, how are we doing with each one of those segments as far as sales? So then I can tell it to, let's also group by customer group. So again, it's going to look at it, understands customer groups, and now it's going to start taking that amount, and it should be grouping it. Maybe I typed it in wrong, but it should be grouping it by customer number there. But the other thing that you can do is once you become familiar or comfortable with this, you can actually turn it into pivot mode. And if you're used to pivot tables in Excel, this can get really powerful quickly. Maybe I want to see my amounts instead of by just totals, I want it by month. So I'm actually going to drag that. And now I can see my month over month comparisons there. So I can see by customer, by month. And maybe I'm going to say group, it grouped it. I see what it did. It Copilot grouped it underneath, but I want it by group at the top, right? So now it's top. And now I can see my individual customer groups there. And once it's the way I want, I can say, you know what, I like this view, I'm going to keep it. And now what it's going to do is save this. So total sales by my different customer groups. So every time I come into my customer list, I'm going to see this. And let's say I really like this, but I want to tweak it a little bit. I don't want to mess up with this view. I really like this view. So what I can come in and say, you know what, I'm going to duplicate this, but instead of by group, maybe I actually want to group it by salespeople so that we can see our month over month sales by salespeople. And then all I need to do is come in and rename this and say total sales by salesperson. And within a couple of minutes, you can see how easy and how powerful it was for me to look at my data, start with Copilot, start asking me questions, and then I can start tweaking it myself and then saving this information. So I can do that all within Business Central. I didn't need to export it out. I didn't need to use a different tool set. I was able to do all of that within Business Central. And again, Microsoft is making huge investments in Copilot. I encourage you, if you're out on YouTube, they do a great job of publishing videos out there anytime they release anything new with Copilot. They are continuing to add more functionalities out there. One of them I really like is bank account reconciliation. We have a lot of our GP clients that, you know, manage their checkbooks in GP, but for whatever reason didn't reconcile them in GP. They would do that in outside systems. Well, BC makes it very easy to reconcile your checkbooks, and they've made it even easier with Copilot Now all you need to do is simply upload your bank statement and Copilot and tell it to reconcile, and Copilot will start reconciling it for you. It will start learning things about your data. It will start learning about, if there are fees that your bank is assigning you, it will learn what those are. It'll even start suggesting GL account numbers to post those to. So instead of you being the one doing the reconcile, Copilot would do the reconcile, and you become the reviewer of that work. So Microsoft is going to continue to expand in their investment in Copilot. So a very exciting space, and one that certainly gets a lot of our customers excited when they move over to Business Central.